Is it working? Maybe. All right. I have frames. I updated the router with the router. I've been having issues for a while with the router. And looking back, I think it was the last time I updated the firmware, I started having problems. I think it was a shitty firmware update. And I haven't done it since. And it was on version 3.7.2, and the new version was 4.03, and they went through 7s and 8s and 9s and all of that. So it's way behind. And so I updated the router, and the entire network is working better now. Everything is working way freaking better, which is crazy, and that it could be makes such a difference. One of the big problems I had is it's a mesh network, right? So I have access points around the house, and they just mesh in with the main antenna. And this access point is 10 feet from the main antenna. But when I connected this access point, the internet was trash, bad. And only thing between the access point and the antenna is steel siding from the shop, and then, T111 siding, insulation, and a layer of drywall, and that's it. Or the window, right? So, and the window is like right next to the antenna, so this should not have an issue, going between those two. Yeah, steel siding does some stuff, but not that much. And it always shows it has full signal strength, but connected to here never freaking works. And connected in the living room works okay, but we still have issues where it drops out a lot. So I redid the firmware just now, and then fired it back up, and immediately this laptop, while it already had full signal before, actually has bandwidth now, and that one actually has bandwidth now. So that is great news. It was hauling ass. So I didn't check to see if this thing changed networks though. Let me see. Oh, it did change networks to the main antenna again. But I have line of sight to the main antenna, and it's only like 20 feet, maybe. Yeah, about 20 feet. So it's not on this one. Well, I don't know. It's on. Oh, yeah, right. It's on the mesh network, so it could be taken using an antenna. It could be using the main antenna. I don't know. They're both line of sight, and they're both in the same direction. But I have full bandwidth now. I can see it. My download was updating correctly, and this thing's going. So happy with that. On the other side of the, this other side's not really the right term for that. I'm gonna say, alternatively, back to the stream purpose is to work on the Corvette engine. It is an LSA block, and let's set this right here. I'm gonna get this laptop off of the steel workbench and see if that helps any. Stainless steel workbench. It's messing the antenna up or not, but the LSA has thicker deck. It has piston oil squirters, and it has I think they call it nodular steel main caps. The main caps are different. They're very different than the normal LS main caps. They're different material. They're different shape even. They're supposedly stronger. Obviously, why else would they do it? And then what else has he got? So the thicker deck, piston squirters, and the caps. I think that's pretty much it. There's no displacement on demand, right? The bosses are there, but they're not drilled out, which is good. And that's all I can remember. Now, I do remember that. Why does the message get retracted? That's weird. I do remember that I ground something off. I don't recall if I ground off the old block or if I grounded off the engine mount to make it fit the newer style blocks. I had an LS3 in the Corvette for a little while before. I don't think I ground the block. I think I ground the mount. But anyways, Steven, you said something about a message or an app to get me internal Wi-Fi thing, so I appreciate that. I have one that does that you can check all the channels and all the frequencies around on your Wi-Fi, and so then you can find the channel that is least crowded and then use that. And I had to use that a lot when I lived in town. When I lived in town, all the neighbors had Wi-Fi stuff, right? And everyone was on the default channel, like 10 or whatever it was. It was all exactly the same, and we were just stepping over each other all the time, and it was terrible. Once I got that app, I found a channel that wasn't polluted with a um, bunch of other antennas. I freaking put it on a good channel. I never had Wi-Fi issues again. So no, that's always a good advice for somebody who's got a Wi-Fi issue to check all the pollution in their area, right? But I live on 10 acres. My nearest neighbor is 400 feet that way. No, that's not true. About 300 feet that way, and then a quarter mile that way, and an eighth of a mile that way. So I shouldn't have a whole lot of Wi-Fi here in my area. If they're on auto bands, you can encourage other APs to move bands. Yeah, but like I said, I don't have any pollution here. Obviously, some frequencies are better for penetrating steel, thin metal siding and building materials. So I know that. But they have little signal strength indicators on them, and they always indicate full. Like I said, it's 12 feet from that one to the other one, maybe 12 feet from this AP to the main antenna on this network. So I don't think it was that. I think it was just that it was messed up, because right now I have the best signal on Sunset Signal because it's always had good signal. It's always had just crappy performance while saying full signal. It always had good performance. Right now it's cranking, so it's good. This network is a Ubiquity Amplify HD, which I don't think they make anymore. I think they went to like a newer version of it now. But I really liked it, and it's supposed to be like a gig or whatever. It's got 2.4 and 5 gigahertz channels, and all that other crap, which I don't need really. Like I don't need that kind of speed because my home internet is garbaggio. It's really bad. I get about 125 down if I'm lucky, and like 20 to 30 up is what I have. But it's microwave, and so I'm beaming to a mountaintop that's 8 miles off in the distance. Yeah. So, anyways, thank you for that, though, Stephen. For those that don't know, it is helpful to have an app to monitor your the local Wi-Fi around you and find a good channel that's not polluted. That's good. Anyways, back to the engine. So this engine has a Cali's Dragon Slayer? Is that what it's called? Dragon Slayer? No, not Dragon Slayer. Comp Star. It's got the Cali's Comp Star crank in it, which is like a $1,600 crank at the time I got it. It's got just some generic H-beams. I think they're Eagle H-beams, nothing crazy. It has 12-to-1 compression JE pistons in it with big old domes. I don't know if you can see the dome from here or not. It's got pretty big domes. It's got a cam that I designed with Kelford. I think I may have talked about it in a previous stream, but the cam card is somewhere. It's yeah, here it is. That's the one. 630 lift, intake and exhaust. 236 duration intake, 250 duration exhaust. Now that's at 50. So it's a 284 302 exhaust. So 284 intake, 302, which is a sizable cam. It's a little big. Honestly, it's a little big. But you still got 14 degrees more duration on the exhaust than the intake. And honestly, if I should have made the intake a smidge smaller. I should make it just a little bit smaller so that we could remove a little more overlap out of it, and it'd be really good for the blowers and stuff that I built it and plan on using for it, using with it. But I didn't. In the end, I didn't. It's going to run NA. So since it is NA, it's kind of all right. It's all right. It's a little on the big side. It has a little bit of overlap. It's not a lot of overlap. At 50, the intake valve opens at 8 degrees before top dead center, and the exhaust valve closes 7 after. So at 50, I have about 15 degrees of overlap, which ain't much. Because that means from 8 and down, right? It's smaller than 50. So at TDC, it's got barely any lift at all on either of them. So not a ton of overlap. Oh, I have another cam. Where did that cam card go? I'm thinking about that. One, I wanted to compare another one for you guys so you can see another one that's actually quite big. Let me, I know the part number, I can just read it. 56, 54, 54, 462, 467, 11. Okay. This one I really liked, but it's gnarly. It's technically it's not as big as this one, I guess. Really, when I think about it, it is. Let's see. At 50, intake is 239, which is bigger than this one. This one's 236. Exhaust is 243, which is smaller than this one on the exhaust. Lift is 624, so slightly less lift. Low separation is 114, and so is this one. They're both 114. But if we look at, where is it? Let's hope I have the open and close on the cam card here. I want to show it to you guys. See how many copyright violations I get today with the music playing in the background? I probably already have an email in my inbox right now saying, "You've got music on your stream." Yes, I know, thank you. Things will never change. Let's see. That's just the way it is. I wish I could find the damn part. Poop. I had an email from Comp when we were going over cam grinds before, and here's something else. Intake centerline's 112, and it's got 239, and mine is 110. Intake centerline, yeah, 110 at 236. That's just the way it is. Doesn't say exhaust. Well, shit. I really wanted to show you guys the difference for that. Anyways. So I found 2 plugs that should be suitable. Copper oh, where you are. Nice. So I found 2 plugs that should be suitable. Copper indicator with a heat range of 2, and iridium with a heat range of 5. Wow, 2's hot. 2's smoking. I mean, if you need it, you need it, right? And I doubt it though, because like you said before, we're talking about keeping the plug clean. But also, if you're not running a whole lot of load, it might help. It might increase efficiency by having a plug that hot. You just got to make sure it's not too hot. So get them both. Run the heat range 2 for a while. Just fucking set it at 8 hours at whatever power setting it normally runs at. Then pull the plug out and inspect it. If the electrode's starting to melt and round off already, then it's too hot. If it's not, if everything's good, then it's good. Alternatively, you get the 5 in there and do the same thing and see how it looks in the long run, or see if it after running for only like 5 minutes, 5 minutes, shut it off. Fire up a couple minutes, shut it off. Fire up a couple minutes. If it's too cold, it'll quickly foul, and you can see that too. So, Bruce Hornsby. Oh, that's who this is. I don't think the engine has even seen 8 hours of actual use in its lifetime. You've already spent time on it though, right? Like trying to idle that damn thing. I'm just talking right here. What's up, baby? What is it? Oh, that's why Cat was on the commercial. Right. Be careful, don't hit that door in the shoulder. Don't hurt yourself. I want bruises on my lady. Unless it's from my hands. Punching bag? Yeah. I've been working on it. I cleaned a bunch of this stuff out. Cleaned much of this out. I'm getting there. Getting there slowly. I'm looking to grab a few to test gaps. Yeah, as wide as you can make it before it misfires. But it's as wide as you can make it at high load. Anyway, so those who don't know, Dyno has a single cylinder Honda engine. I think it was 50 or 100 cc's. I forget how small it is. And he does the eco marathon stuff. So it's in like this tiny tube chassis, fiberglass, teardrop looking thing. In his college, they're total cheap asses. They don't like doing things right, and the main engineer in the program is a total douchebag. So he's got to deal with that crap all the time. And he's trying to do things right, and they keep going, "Oh, you don't need that." And but he'll get it. He'll get it. They still pay. Yeah, I guess this is on Spotify, I think. So, yeah, I guess they play Bruce Hornsby. Josh said this from 20 megahertz on the 2.4. Okay, I'll try that next time. All right, back to the engine. So the real treat, besides the cam being super cool, is the heads. I'm super excited about the heads. They are, I think they're 10 degree, or 10 or 11 degree heads. Now the LS is normally a 15 or 12 degree based on what it is, but these are 10 or 11 degree trick flow head that flows a butt whack and has a thick deck, has good springs in it. They're a cleat head. They're really nice. Super excited about that because what I also have going onto the head is the LSXR intake manifold for the LS3 with the short race runners on it. So I might live to regret that decision, but I know that with the short, fat runners on the LSXR manifold, not T, LSXR manifold, and this cam with the wide LSA and everything should really crank up top. And then, like I said, it's 12-1 compression. So I'm really excited about this. Unfortunately, it's probably going to snow before I get to drive the Corvette, but we'll see. Anyways, I'm going to get my Felpros open and take a peek at them. All right, so this is the new Felpro gasket. It's a new one. You can see it's not blue anymore. It's an MLS, which I like. It's got a very, very thin coating on it, and I do like that's got a thin and not a big thick coating on it. A lot of them, in fact, I feel sometimes the JE Pro Seals, the coating's too thick. The Viton's too thick. I like that this is a thinner Viton coating than the Pro Seals. It's embossed here around the cooling jacket, but it's also looks like it also has a firing in it, which I'm excited about because yeah, it's got a folded ring in there. See, I get the fingernail on it. Yep. Oh yeah. So it's got a firing in it, not just embossed around the coolant, but firing on the aluminum in the middle here. There's aluminum shim essentially, right? That's the thick of the gasket basically. The main thickness providing aspect of it. It actually has a folded aluminum piece in there, so it's got an actual firing in it, and it's stress relieved. It's not all warped and stuff, than I just pulled on it. So I'm actually pretty interested in this gasket. I don't know if Felpro makes this or if it's actually like a Kinetic or something. The coating feels different than the Kinetic coating. But I do love that it's got a firing on there. That actually is surprising, especially for Velcro. It's got a nice a nice firing, and then also, like I said, it's got the embossed rings for sealing again for coolant. So it's like double sealing, which you don't really see very often on gaskets. So I'm pretty happy with that. I am now seeing that there are no freaking there's no You're not home. In one of these bags? The collars. I don't see any collars. Let me put this back in his bag real quick. I could think you're immune to the stuff. Let's see. Oh, yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Push rods. I gotta figure out what push rods are the right length, so that's gonna be a hold up for sure. Luckily, I can put the engine in without push rods because you just stick them in the top, right? So that's not a big deal. So that won't be a problem. Looking for the box of crap that came from the machine shop. It had a bunch of stuff all separated for me. Whoop, almost tripped and ate shit. This box? No, that's fine. Just look at it. Poop nuggets. Where's that box? I got a box from the machine shop where they had all, oh, I think, see, I see it. They had all my stuff. There we go. Head studs. This sounds like that one here. More head stud stuff. Alright. I gotta put those on. Goes out. I need a clear spot for the Corvette. I've been doing Subaru stuff too. I've been working on cars a lot lately. Holy crap. Stop plug reach 500, so I think I'll need something shorter. I want to increase compression. Are you saying they're long range plugs that go half an inch into the chamber? Is that what you're saying? I mean, yeah, that's pretty far in the chamber, but it's not bad to have your plugs, right? It's not bad to be deep in the chamber. If you're deep in the chamber, projected into the middle of the combustion, you will have a flame kernel that starts very central to your combustion chamber and the piston, and then it will expand and burn upwards as well as outwards and down. So if you raise compression and leave a projected plug in there, you just might need to go to a colder one. I mean, there's a possibility you could have other issues, but it's not super high. That little motor, I mean, it's not a race machine. You're not going to be putting a bunch of power density out of it. You're going for efficiency. So I would try and keep that sucker in there. Get you a nice origin of combustion, that flame. I call it a flame kernel. I don't recall that's the technical term for it is, but I've always called it a flame kernel. I swear that's where I read back in my classes. Push shots. Okay. I'm getting a little nervous here. I'm getting nervous. I'm wondering if I have to go to another block and pull
pins out of it or the collars out of it. I don't want to do that. That sucks. But I'm not seeing them. I see all the washers. I see all the nuts. I see a hub or a damper that someone took apart. Somebody I thought was a friend of mine. Really did a number on my stuff for me. Really a bummer, honestly. It's kind of sad. What the fuck? I had somebody I thought was a friend, and I don't know if they were just intentionally destructive or if they're just destructive by nature. But this friend messed up my cars so bad. Every time he'd help me work on stuff, he was very impatient and he would break shit. And I'm like, hold on, you're bending this. He's like, whatever, and he'd fucking yank it. Broke my AC line and then did a really hacky job brazing it back together because you can't get that AC line anywhere. And I don't know. I feel taken advantage of. I feel like maybe I was just a source of more parts or more tuning or more help, for this guy. And my projects were never a priority. It was always his projects that were a priority. I mean, he did help me with stuff, but it was usually helping me to get to where he could take my engine apart and take parts off of it. Like he would ask, hey, can I have this off of here if you're getting rid of this or whatever? And I'm like, sure, yeah. And the next thing he's at my house taking shit apart. So I just feel like I was just being used. That's how I feel. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just a bitch. I say maybe like I don't know the answer is yes. Oh, sweet. There's that sealant I'm looking for. So a bunch of LS bearings. Corvette dead pedal. Yep. Spark plugs. Brand new spark plugs. This is got an adapter for turbos. If I want to add turbos to it, which was on the menu at one point. Got the spark plugs. Got a few sets of different heat ranges because I too am trying to make sure that my heat ranges are correct. Valve spring set. All right. Come on now. Oh, you motherfucker. Here's the screws I looked in here 7 times for before. God dang it. These freaking screws were the ones that stopped me from doing my build. And I looked through this box multiple times for these screws. And I'm not looking for them, and here they are. That's how it always goes, right? That's how it always fucking goes. What's this? Fuel pump? Yeah, fuel pump. What else do I have to say? Valve cover gasket, fuel pump relay, cover, another hub for another ATI damper, and a stack of bolts for the Vette. Well, that sucks. We didn't start the fire. Oh, I bet that's my freaking steering box for my truck that I couldn't find either. Yeah, it sure looks like it. Yeah, it sure is. I need to hire someone to find things for me when I lose them in plain sight. I am so good at doing that. I got a set of CNC ported LS3 heads from Chevy, actual GM Performance ones. That's what was gonna go on the engine, and then, but I was gonna do boost. I was gonna have I still have it, an Edelbrock supercharger for it, and I would have to cut the hood, put a blower on it. Hey, Miss Physical. I don't want to cut the hood on the car. The car is so good, even though it's been sitting for like 3 years and being neglected, and I cracked the windshield like a dumbass. Still, overall, the car is really good and really good shape. And cutting the hood, lowering the engine a ton, spacing out the subframe, and all this stuff to make this blower fit. I bought everything to do it, but I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to cut the hood. So I'm not gonna. But so that's why I decided, fuck it, I'm gonna go big NA again. And I mean, who knows? I'm a boost guy, you know. I know I'm a boost guy, and you know, the hit of a turbo is what I love about turbocharged. Like when I get a 400 wheel horsepower STI with a 16 GXT on ethanol, right? And it's almost 400 wheel. That thing spools at like 2,000 RPM. I don't like it. I mean, it's fast as balls, but the rush isn't there. It just feels like you've got a big 450 to 500 horsepower NA V8 under the hood. It literally just feels like an AV8 without the sound, and I don't want that. I want it to hit me in the ass a little bit, you know, just a little push. That sounds way gayer than I wanted it to. Yeah, there's no. I would say that. I don't know. I just, you know, I tuned and drove a 1200 plus horsepower R35 GTR, and it was fast. It was boring as shit. It was never trying to kill you, you know, like you just hit the throttle and it was like, okay, you know, it would stick your head back, and yeah, it was a straight line acceleration ride, but it was a drama free straight line acceleration ride, and it just wasn't for me. I need just a little bit more required skill maybe to operate the vehicle when it hits, you know, and the anticipation and all of that. I don't know, there's something about it. It's just different. And I did a positive displacement, roots type, Magnuson, Eaton Gen 3, TVS. What was it that year? What were they? They weren't 1900s. They were, because that's Gen 4, it was Gen 3, so it wasn't even TVS then. That's right. It wasn't that. It was M111, M112, something like that. And that CTSV, it was fun. I could throw it sideways whenever I wanted. I could drift it and stuff, but it just didn't have that, you know. Plus, it's heavy, but you need so much more horsepower with that kind of weight. And just having instantly, well, it was also a stroked LS, and I think stroked engines feel like shit. They're terrible to drive. Fast. I don't like stroked engines at all. Long strokes where you have stupid rod ratios and everything just don't feel right. The engine just feels like it's always struggling. And that was a 4-inch stroke LS6 block with a Magnuson, and it made 650 pounds of torque or something like that. It was a lot of torque and like 550 horsepower to the wheels, but it was so much torque and very broad power. No, that's not true. I think it was 475 is what it was for the wheels. 475, I think, 480, something like that, along those lines on the Dyno Dynamics dyno. And it was like 550 on the Dyno Com because Dyno Com pre-dyno. Anyways, that one, it was fun-ish to drive, but just didn't have that punch, you know. Well, like you said, that bugger factor. It was completely absent of that. And so it was a lot less fun because of it. A lot less fun. These are some pretty big push rods. See that the end is tapered where they go from the normal size push rod to the thick size push rod. I am hopeful that these will fit in this engine. The 7.4s, that's close. So I'm hopeful they'll fit. Since I have factory deck heights on the head and the block, and then the trick flow heads. But the trick flow heads do have slightly different rocker locations, if I recall correctly. You can still use the factory rocker assembly, but you had to have a different mount, and it came with the mounts. I'm worried though that my shaft mount rockers won't fit the heads. Oh, okay, I fixed that. I'm worried the shaft mount rockers won't fit the heads. I think the mic is because it's down here in my waist. Ah! This might be too loud now. 'Cause I can do without. All right. Is that any better, or do I need to turn the gain up? Yeah, Tears for Fears. I have it on Spotify, and this was like a 80s thing that I put on because I like some old 80s stuff. And sometimes push rods in an EJ crowd. Yeah, right. Or I could change what you said to push rods in an EJ crowd. And I go, yeah, I got rods. I got my rods that are for sale, so I could push sales on those rods. If y'all want rods, let me know. Let's buy some, let's sell some rods. I think I have to go to the other engine. Fuck. I'm gonna get the other heads. I'm gonna go grab one of the heads, and we're gonna look at a head together before I have to go wade through the rain and storms and shit that's going on in my house out to the storage unit where my other engines are at. Where my other engines are, man, my English is just on point. Oh, this is cool as shit. This is a riv nut gun, and I got it on Temu, of all things. Lane told me about this. He bought one. His was yellow. This one's black. I think because it came in different sizes. And it's an air riv nut gun, which is sweet because it's shorter than like the big handle ones that you got to go like this wide with to go somewhere and then do this. So you have to have all this available space to put riv nuts in, and that sucks to do. But this is sweet. Way less space needed to put riv nuts in it. And all it does is basically just have this spacer and then a bolt inside, and the bolt is turned by a quarter drive. Oh no, maybe bigger than a quarter drive. I think it's quarter drive on the bolt. Or sorry, this is M8, so it's gonna be a 6mm Allen on this. It looks bigger than a quarter, but it could be quarter. Quarter drive arbor there, and so it literally is just a bolt with a washer on the inside. The Allen bolt here. Boop. Socket head screw, as a socket cap head screw. And so this goes right inside. And then this just has a quarter drive inside. And quarter. I'm thinking eighth in my head. And that just drives it. And that's it. And then you just put your riv nut in where you're going to put it. Or throw it on here first if you want, however you want to do it. Put it on there and then pull the trigger. Boop. And it just... Bam, riv nut in. And it was like, I don't know, $60 maybe? $30? Something like that. It comes with 3 sizes. This one came with 3, 4, and 5, millimeter. And then I bought another expansion kit, which was 6, 8, and 10 drives for it. So I think I have like maybe 70 or something bucks in this after it's all said and done, something like that. And it kicks ass. I got to use it today on the black GC, and really cool. Sounds fine. Good. I don't hijack the stream, but have you wandered into the 80s retro wave music? I don't know what retro wave would be, so I would say probably not. Can I find that on Spotify? The things I can do without. Let's see. Retro wave. 80s retro wave playlist. Is it just synthetic stuff? I don't recognize any of these songs. So is it just like synthetic stuff that's supposed to sound like 80s? Like 80s drum beats and that kind of stuff? I'll give it a sec. Let's see. My son might need to like that front. I want your complete rotation assembly. Sweet. Yeah, I look forward to doing it. I need to test my new rods before I start getting them people. The I beams I have will go out first, and then I need to test the new ones before I send them out because it's a brand new design. And last thing I want is for you guys to get my new rods and have one break or something. I can sim that stuff all day long, but you know, I can run simulations on it all day, but there's only so much that a simulation can, I guess, simulate, right? That it can do. So who knows? But the Pistons are killer. The wrist pins came back gorgeous. My hands are already dirty. The wrist pins came back gorgeous. I think this is it right here. Let me see. You gotta see these. Yeah. This is basically a DLC type coating on these wrist pins here. They're awesome. And they finally came back. That took fucking forever. But I almost dropped this fucking wristband. Came unwrapped as I was trying to put it back in. They're really nice. I'm looking forward to running these. These guys. Blah, 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 can't talk. Words are hard. Boy, it's a lot more difficult for me to speak when I'm trying not to swear. I use a swear word. I recognize I use a swear word. Then I get all self-conscious about it. I'm trying to swear again, and then I mess up everything else I'm trying to say. Because my brain is not good enough for better adjectives, I guess. This fucking thing is so shitty. Oh, there's two of them. This is like the Temu of cabinets. Anyways, I'll put this away. That's why I brought it up. I put it away. Yes, that's true. This is my riv nut tool. Oh yeah, I should show for those that don't know what the manual tools are like. I'm gonna grab this guy. It's even a pain in the ass to get out of the drawer. Right, so here's a manual one. Now, picture, I have to have it open, get to my hole where my hole's at, then thread this into the screw, or the riv nut, I mean, and then do this, right? But look how much freaking space I need. Look at it, I need all this room. And sometimes you're doing these in weird locations. I mean, half the reason you do them in weird locations, or you do them at all, is because the location is a weird location, and it's not something you can easily tap or weld a washer to, nut to, or whatever. And so you got a hole somewhere, and you're like, I put a nut in there, and get it, but it's huge. It's this big old thing. So that air tool is badass. I feel like I could make it a battery one. I feel like I can make one that's electric. Because it's just literally a 1/4-inch drive. It's just a 1/4-inch drive. All I need to do is figure out this this locking collar that they have on here, and I bet I could make one that is like a Milwaukee or something. An adapter you can just slide right on your Milwaukee. Tonk. Good to go. All right, finish clearing the spot here. And I'm gonna go grab a head. I have to go in the house to grab it. They're by the front door, and my wife will be very happy that I'm taking them out of the house. She is so patient and tolerant. I love her so much. But because my shit is everywhere all the time. I have car projects and house projects and everything else. Chuck for a quarter-inch drive or drill adapter could be cool. Drill bit. It's a hefty thing. RevNet drill bit. Oh. Yeah. All right. You're back. I'm going to stay here audio-wise so you can hear the wife talking to me probably. Unless the audio stops connecting when I get in the house. Hi, honey. I need to grab my cylinder heads. Box says it's by the front door, yeah. I need to wash my hands though, real quick.
We've only got potatoes with our meat.
No veggies? What about cake?
Cake?
Yeah, cake, yeah. I was kidding.
No, no one needs pie.
What about the jam tarts? Did you do mini pies? Did you do mini pecans? Did you want to? Okay. Do you want me to do my dessert tomorrow, or what do you want? Do you want me to do my dessert tomorrow, or is that something we want to take over there?
I wasn't planning on that because I'm only making peanut butter balls.
So we can eat it because it's delicioso. All right. All right, here we go, baby. Oh, so here's the rocker shaft thing. So this makes me worried about whether I can use my shaft mount ones or not, because it's got this deal. Maybe. I'm gonna find out though in a minute. All right. Let's see. What's this? Lubricant. Air resource board for your heads. I guess in California it's important. Trick flow sticker. Nice. All right. Oh yeah. Is that open? This side's open. Oh, perfect. This side is down. Yeah, so they have this. This is shaped differently than the LS3 head here, so this guy's supposed to go there. This way. It's got a pin in here that holds it. Just like that. All right, yeah. Look at the flashlight. I say flashlight. This thing's freaking bright. Oh fuck. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what can we see here? Can I get on stream so you can see inside the chamber at all? There we go. That's a little better. I wonder if I can dial this in a little tighter. Does that help any? I don't know. Anyways, these are some big old CNC chambers. There we go. Whew. Let's widen this back out now. And there's the chambers. I said chamber, I meant ports. Big CNC ports. Here's the chambers. These exhaust ports look gorgeous, actually. I'm really loving these exhaust ports, and I wish I could share them with you better than this. It just doesn't do it. I get it. I think they got pen light, huh? Let's see. If I do this, and then go to lower setting. Lower setting? That's off. That's sun. Okay, so I have 3 settings. Can I get it? Aluminum so reflecty. So many reflections. Yeah, I can't. I want it though. It's I got to use different light, I suppose. I need a pen light. Little pen light, stick right inside there, illuminate the thing from behind. If it didn't have valves in it, it'd be really easy, but valves are in it. But yeah, this short side, you see how this port is a little flat right here? Kind of a D-shaped port. D-shaped ports are great. D-shaped ports are awesome because this short side here is very well, it's flatter. I guess that's just flatter, like a D. It's flatter. So when the short side of the corner is flatter, you get more laminar flow across this whole area, and they turn better than a regular round hole turn. So the D shape is really good, and these exhaust ports look phenomenal. Honestly, if my intake port on my EJ looked as good as this thing, I'd start an OnlyFans. And these intake ports, these are not Cathedral intake ports, so these have way less swirl than the Cathedral has. And honestly, I don't like that part of it. I wish they had more swirl like the Cathedrals do, but they still rock. They're still ridiculously big. I mean, I feel like I could put stuff in there that I shouldn't put in there. Now that is very interesting. These holes are drilled all the way into the ports for the retention plate. So I need to. Well, that's something. So I need to be sure to use sealant on these bolts that go in here. Interesting. It goes right into the port. Luckily, it's the short side of the port, but yeah, they go right in the port. That's crazy. Oh, that could be. All right, hear me out. Hear me out. What if I create a hollow bolt and use that for nitrous, and put nitrous right into the ports on this thing? It's probably they got it because all those guys that cheat in their classes and stuff. Like, why does each one have to have that? Why not make it a blind hole and make it short? I don't know. Anyways, so this is the Trick Flow 255. It's a 255 cc port. It's a 69 cc head of a chamber, if I recall correctly. It comes with 660 lift springs, and my cam 630. Right? Yeah, see, Mark's on board. He knows where I'm going. You see right here, they're machined off. So this casting is actually a 6-bolt casting. And yeah, it's a 6-bolt casting. And here's the boss for the other one. Right there. There's the boss for the other ones. So they have here and here. And we're putting these heads with the 6-bolt version of these heads into our new drag car. And I haven't talked about that at all, actually. You guys have seen the Nova, maybe? If you've seen the Nova, let me know in the comments real quick, so I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'll wait for that while I pick this up real quick. All right. I need to do fucking pins and bolts. Damn it. So Mark knows about the Nova. That's good. I don't know how many people are here. Nova's cool. Fox knows that too. Okay, so the Nova, it was twin turbo, D-stroke, 6-liter. We blew it up. We put too many parts on it at once, and the O2 sensor wasn't working correctly, and we had a fuel pump that was too small, and it ran lean and smoked it. So we smoked the first motor in it by running it lean and just destroyed it. It was lean, and it had nitrous and was lean, so it got screwed up. It was going to be a cool motor, but we had some issues. We couldn't spool turbos because there was 2 of them and they were gigantic. That's why we had the nitrous in the first place. And I guess that was the only issue, which is we couldn't spool turbos with it. So it was hard to get a good launch. And when you're doing an index race like we are, a 550 index, the race is whoever gets the closest to 550 and crosses the line first. Now, you can cross the line second and get closer to 550 and you still win. That still happens. But if, let's see, how'd that work? Is that what it was? I always forget that part of it. But you got to beat him there too. Yeah, you got to beat him too. Because we beat people to the line with faster times. Yeah, you got to get the line first, but you can't go faster than 550. So you got to beat the guy next to you, and you got to be closer to, but you can't go faster than 550. That's what it is. Yeah. So you're racing the guy next to you, but you have to be, no faster than 550. So when it drops, reaction time is absolutely imperative, right? Because you need to get there quicker than the other guy. And so the faster you leave, the better your light, the more margin you have on the top end to beat the other guy and have room in your time. But if you leave late, you need to run really fast. And if you run really fast, you can break out. So if the other guy cuts a 0.1 light, which is an okay light, he cuts a 0.1 light, not stellar, but it's okay, and he runs a 550, then that means you need to run a 550 and cut a 0.099 light, or run a 551 and cut a 0.09 light. You see what I'm saying? So you have room, but you got to beat him out of the hole. We've had some where Sean, the driver, left before the guy and spun the tires. But he beat him so bad at the light that the time he lost with his tire spinning, he still was able to come back and win. And that was actually how we won the final at one of the events this year, where Sean left the light. It was like a 005 light, like something really damn good. Just totally treated the shit out of the guy. The other guy had like a .125 light or something. So Sean just dusted them off the light. Right before the second gear shift, it breaks traction, spins. He has to pedal the smidge to get back in it and go. And the guy passes him while that's happening. And then Sean top ends him and wins the race by that far, something like that. There's like the picture of it crossing the line, and it's like that's the margin of victory in this race, and nobody broke out. So it can be exciting. And the fact that we were doing it with a turbo car like his is very difficult. A lot of amateurs at our events, the guys be in a 4.58 mile insane reaction time. Consistent as 00X's. Yep, that's exactly right. And that's where we frequently were, is down there in the single numbers, single digits. Anyway, so the issues with that car is it's turbo. And it's turbo. The Turbo Hydra 400 that he spent a fortune on sucked balls. That training was not a good 400. From the time it got a shift command, it was almost a second before it shifted. It was bad. And so even though it was this super expensive, super high performance, supposedly famous guy, I think Vickers is what they're called, Vickers transmission. They're like known for their transmissions. Dude, it sucked. It sucked. The dump valve sucked. The trans brake mostly worked, but the solenoid he used for it was slow. It just sucked. The training was terrible. And not happy with that at all. It was always hot. That thing was always hot. It didn't matter. You'd fucking start it and move it 20 feet, and it was like 220 fucking training temps. Like, the training was fucked up. The stall was never right. It was like the dude that built it just didn't know what the fuck he was doing. Like, it was fine. You know, he was fine building one for a big block that, you know, and a lethargic big block or something was fine. But when we're in something that's making, you know, almost 1,000 horsepower and we're trying to hit specific numbers, it was terrible. Every tune adjustment I made, I was fighting with the tranny, fighting with the shift control, fighting with the dump valve, it was just a nightmare, absolute nightmare. So we got a turbo. I was able to make the car remarkably consistent with the turbo. Way more than anybody thought we could. There was a lot of shit talkers, and I did it. And they were like, what the fuck? How'd you guys do that? So I was able to make it very consistent. And that just took a lot of time. But once I got it figured out, and once we fixed some issues, I made some videos about it, but I didn't post them because they got fucked up. We fixed some issues with the setup when I was out there. And then it became just automatic, basically, you know, for that, to control it and hit times, but it was still a lot of work. And we had started off not planning on being competitive, but once we went out and got, you know, we're like qualified. Our first time out, we qualified like first or something like that, right? And so Sean's like, oh, okay, I guess we can do something. But we just wanted to have fun, and he wanted to just drive a fast car. I wanted to, you know, do some building and that kind of stuff. But once he found out that he can be competitive, then he wanted to be competitive. And then it just became the car's not right. The car's not right with the build, the transmission, the fact that it's a turbo, which you can still do with a turbo, but you know, it makes it harder for sure. And then the fact that the cage is wrong, that the cage is made for someone way smaller than he is. And in my opinion, it's kind of unsafe. It's unsafely tight and small for him. If he got in an accident, he would have got hurt for sure. So the car has really bad work done to it from the previous owner. And we've gone round and round with, you know, trying to fix things or band-aid things and get it right. It's just not a good chassis, unfortunately. For being competitive to that degree that we will be competitive. You could buy that car and have a ton of fun, and, you know, go race weekends and whatever and do that. It's built solidly. It's just not as precise as we need it to be. And there was a lot of lessons learned in it. You know, there's a lot of times where I said, we should do this. And everyone's like, no way, we want to do this. This is proven technology from the 70s, you know, that kind of stuff. And I was like, this ain't going to work. And then it didn't. And then there was some stuff that I said we should do, and I was wrong. And just wasn't able to make it as consistent or whatever, in that. So a lot of lessons on that car. And anyways, we acquired another car. I say we, Sean. Sean acquired another car. It's his car. It's a WS6. It's an authentic WS6 that somebody else was drag racing with. And so we're doing a totally different build for that. We're putting the 6 bolt heads on it. They're going onto a dart block. We're doing an F1X blower. I'll be using an M-Tron with 16 fuel injectors on it. We're going to go 2 sets of thousands or potentially 2 sets of 13s. What else are we doing that's different? I've been trying to get him to do an 8L or an 8 HP transmission, but he's resistant to that because that's so new, He said he wanted to do drag and drives with it, and then he's like, I'm just put a 400 in it. I'm like, the other 3 of us that are involved in the car are like, oh, why? Like, I thought you wanted to do drag and drives. No one wants to drag and drive a 400. That sucks. So I've been trying to talk him into something like a 6L80 or 8L80 or 8L90 or an 8 HP 90. Those would be sweet. You just had to say the word unsafe. An exhaust shop hosted an open day event at the drag strip, and I was scrutinizing just the basics. Good tires, safety gear. Yeah. You need rally proven transmission, right? Yeah. Fuck. Anyway, so I want to do an 8 or a 6. The 6 has more history, obviously, and so control schemes are more plentiful for the 6. The 8s being 8 HP and the 8L being much newer are harder to get controls for. And for the most part, the computers for those transmissions are in the transmissions. But I did find a couple years of 8L90 that doesn't have a computer in it. It's all external. Instead of having an internal one built in the valve body, there's no computer. All of the sensors, controls, solenoids, wires, exit the tranny versus the big mechatronics plug. So I think there's some potential there to run the 8L90. So that part's still in the air. He's still acquiring stuff for the engine. He just got the dart block. We got to order the heads. He already has the blower. Oh man, I don't like that turn right there. That's a little rough right there. They could clean that up more. Chick-fil-A, you could have done better right there. But I have the KV16. We're gonna run the M-Tron KV16. He called BTR, Brian Tooley Racing, and has one of their intake manifolds coming, but he has their prototype manifold with 8 injectors or 16 injectors in it. So we're gonna have one of 3 BTR manifolds made with 16 fuel injectors. So that's gonna be awesome. And yeah, so super excited about that. It's gonna be a good time. Cars look like they came straight out of the Sahara. Dodge owners who delete the seatbelt when upgrading their seats. No, you can't race with a seatbelt. Yeah. I mean, I've seen those Arab drift videos. Those guys don't wear any safety gear. With arms and stuff flying out the freaking doors when they roll, getting cut off, and parts go flying. Let's see if these shaft mount rockers fit. All right, so I need to lay something down here because I don't want to damage my beautiful deck. So here's some cardboard with newspaper. That should be adequate. Let's do this. We'll try this. All right. All right. that. Move this away a little bit. Move this back down. All right, so this goes in here like this somewhere. I just had it a second ago. Right there. Okay. And now these are supposed to sit in the factory tray, but I don't know if they'll fit in the trick flow trays or not. So that's my question. These are shaft mount rockers. They're not rollers. I'm not really a fan of rollers. They don't really do anything beneficial. But these are essentially factory rockers with trunnion upgrades on a common shaft, really. That's what these guys are. I say essentially because, you know. Where's my flats for my bolts? Here we go. There's a flat for the bolts. This goes this way. The way it fits. No, the spacing's different. Oh, that's such a fucking shame. Unless I'm doing something wrong here. It looks like the spacing's different. This is the exhaust port. The valves face me. The word should be that direction. That's where it goes. But feels like they don't fit. Yeah, they're in a different spot. Fudge. I mean, that should make sense, right? It's a 10-degree valve. So instead of being splayed out more, it's narrower. So the valve tips are going to be closer to each other. So that makes sense. Now, can I modify this shaft? I feel like I could, honestly. The bolts look like they almost go in, honestly. Ugh, what a bummer. But yeah, the holes look like they line up. So that part of the rocker. So I'm confused because the one where the hole lines up is also one where it's not fitting. Wait, that's binding, but I don't see what it's binding on. On this one. Huh. Okay, I see that one binding. See that one binding. See that one binding, that one binding. Don't see that one binding. It's not binding. But it won't go down because that one is. How close is this valve to rocker interface? It is not centered. Yeah, no, that's not centered. Cheese balls. Cheese balls. How do I go about this? Fuck. I don't have factory rockers for an LS3, so I can't run factory ones. I don't want to run factory ones. I want at least a trunnion. I would prefer a shaft, because I'm going to run this thing up there. You know, I am capable of making a new shaft. I gotta pee. I don't want to spend that much money. Like I said, I could do a shaft, but the material, I know the material is. I would need to find out what material is ideal for this. And then I have to get all the dimensions, figure out the spacing correctly. I can do that. I can get the spacing correct for the rockers. Well, that sure looks like it's close. I don't know. I understand why it's not. Oh, no, that was way off. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, it's the one that's... okay. So, remember I said that the holes go through to the intake port? One of them that's the one I can see through, right? And I'm saying, this lines up. But the one I can't see into is the one that's blind. And it looked like it was lined up, but that was just a shadow. And now that I have this one lined up to here, it looks like it's off a third of the diameter of the bolts hole, or the bolts, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, maybe not a whole third, but definitely some. And then it just doesn't clear the body. You know, the body needs to move. Man, it looks like the shaft would work, honestly. Looks like the shaft could actually work. Now, I see little shims in here. I wonder if I can move these shims. Change the shim size. Because it's got these little E-clips here. Or no, these are outer snap rings. And there's threaded here too, interesting. But it's got these clips on here, and then there's a washer, which is, you know, for thrust on here, so it's not wearing into that. And then the same on the other side. Man, that bolt hole might be close enough. I'm catching a shadow from something, so I can't tell if it's lined up or not. Let's just get a bolt. That makes sense, right? Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, that's off. There's no way. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it is about a third. So that means I have to move those holes, too. I have to oblong the holes. So I need a new shaft. Crap! Speaking of crap, I gotta use the bathroom. You guys still here when I get back? I appreciate it. But I'll be about 5 minutes.
Strangers in our life, when life just didn't quite. Frosted window panes, cheap champagne, face and anything could happen. Cathedrals walk, the shadow people dance, trade their breath and walk. Staring out the window, roses are down. Watching mentality, they say we come from nothing, nothing and in between is gravity and bridges yet to cross. Love is a setting sun, is a smoking gun, is a four-letter word. I hope it hurts. Love is a fatal flaw, is a broken jaw, is a burning bridge. Move your head. Was a dream to have, was a king-size bed, was an escape plan, was an open hand. Now it's a dog from hell, it's a dream you sell, it's an epitaph, it's a photograph.
All right. Oh yeah. So yeah, so I gotta make a freaking shaft or get new rockers. Got myself a can of water right there. A nice can of water. I don't want to get different rockers though. That's just expensive. These are brand new. You send me to wrap them, but then like someone's gonna buy them and give me like a full price for them. And I got them like shit, like I don't know, 2 years ago. So I can't just return them. That won't work. That sucks. So I should make a shaft. Now that being said, I can make a cool shaft. I can do a modular one where each cylinder is individual and it just slides in the next one and slides in if I need to, so that you can have some adjustment between them. That might be cool. I don't know. Search the internet real quick. Browser. Let me get this here. You surf with me. Let's see. Let's look up Trick. Nope, let's not do that. Trick Flow LS3 head shaft mount rockers. Let's see if something pops up. Shaft mount rocker arm mounting style. This doesn't look like I got what I want. It's just head. Oh, here we go. Nope, that wasn't it. I went too fast. That wasn't it. Screw you and your crappy search. Power rockers for Trick Flow LS3. Hey, look at that. That's what I have. Holy shit balls. $2,400. And their rollers and stuff. And their pedestal mount. They're like pseudo shaft. Excuse me. My mic's back on. Man, I'm not spending $2,400. That's not happening. You have this here? Cool. Ready to be insulted? Dude, A-Tech is so fucking worthless. I got $2,400. I just get them from Tech for 23. What the fuck, man? These guys, I fucking hate Summit. This is Summit. A-Tech Motorsports is the wholesale distributor version of Summit. The discounts don't fucking exist. There's so many times there are things that are more expensive for me to get at wholesale than it is to get at any other fucking retailer out there. And they have bullshit pricing and they don't care. I've sent emails. I never got a single response asking why is my price higher than, like, sometimes it'll be like MAP will be a price and then my price is higher than MAP. And I'm like, the fuck is, yeah, it's ridiculous. A-Tech blows. But sometimes I get discounts that are actually decent. Trick Flow, I actually get a decent discount on Trick Flow. The heads, I got, I don't know, it was like $300 a head off. That's sizable, you know. So maybe if I look for a Trick Flow number, maybe Trick Flow will have something that I can use. See the individual arms, and I can do individual arms, but I don't want individual arms. I want shaft mount rockers. Man, Chevrolet. Give me that Chevrolet, dog. Hey, I get one hit. Nice. The thing that I already have in here. Sweet. And you know they have rockers that... Wait, unusual activity detected? Me clicking back is unusual activity? That's the same website that A-Tech just was. Is Trick Flow owned by Summit? I think one of Trick Flow is owned by Summit, and that's why I actually got a discount on it. 1.73, 17th full stud Ford. All right. 1.6, no. Right? Chevy's at 1.7s, right? Pretty sure Chevy's 1.7. Yeah, 1.7. That's what I thought. Okay, 1.6, 1.6, 1.7. Big Chevy. Oh, well, that's not what I want. Small Ford. Small Ford. One five. 1.6. Split. Ooh, split ratio. Fancy. That wouldn't be a bad idea. If I did have the blower for this, if I wasn't running the blower, put a 1.6 on the intake and keep the exhaust on 1.7. That's a good idea, because then you can shrink that intake down, get rid of some of the overlap. Doesn't really change your duration much. I mean, it changes your duration at 50, right? Shit. Big Chevy. Small Ford. That's all I got. 1.6 small Chevys. I don't see any LS stuff. Well, poop biscuits. Pro upgraded. Yeah, those are cheap. Those would work. I don't want that though. I want a shaft, damn it. Those Jezels look like they would work. Maybe. Nope, they went. It's got their own tray. Look at that, $1,500. I'm not going to do that. I already got expensive freaking rockers. These got the factory trunnions in them. See that right there? That's the factory trunnion, the little stopper. And you get too much lift on a cam, and you'll exceed the range that these are made for. I don't know if they have an advertised range, advertised lift. And you don't want to exceed that, obviously, because then you're messing up your bearings and your stuff. And say, yeah, so I don't know what the lift capacity is on these guys. But you can buy those and then get the comp trunnion upgrade. But then again, you're look at the same thing again. There's a BTR rocker. That looks pretty sick. That's a pretty cool looking rocker. This one's roller fulcrum intake. Was the other one roller fulcrum exhaust? That one was? Yeah, that was intake too. Is there another one? No. That one says intake. That says, oh, okay, yeah, offset. Offset intake, straight exhaust. Wait, how can you have both in the description if you're showing and selling one? That's weird. Scorpion Race. Damn. Yeah, wholesale, dude. ATEC is so fucking bad. It's just. Well, shit balls. See, this is what I have. Nope, these aren't the, these other ones I had in my other car. That's what's on the shop Corvette, actually. It's those. Mile blower and my heads. BTR rocker arms. Only 4 left in stock. Are they adjustable? Is there different holes? No, that's that pedestal again. No room for slidey back and forthy. Oopsies. Oh, see, those are a individual on a thing. I mean, I can do that technically. That's what I set out to do, right? I just make the shaft to the right distance here, and then just do that. And I have this base that came with the heads, and I can make shafts like that with the proper spacing. And then it's just those shafts. That's pretty easy. And they're shorter then too. I don't have long shafts, so my wife won't complain. That was a joke. They got that. The difference being that these are bolted on both sides of it, and then in this case, the bolt would go through the center of it. So this retro wave stuff reminds me of like Dr. Disrespect stream. This reminds me of, which is probably pretty accurate, right? It's the same stuff that he would use. All right, well, let's get rid of that. I think I'll make some shafts. That's what I have to do. I think I gotta make some shafts. I can't bolt them on the ends though, so I want to do one solid shaft, or one hollow shaft, or one complete shaft, or a shaft with a section that presses into the other one. It's another op, probably not needed. And if I turn the shaft and do all the features as I go along on the shaft as it goes through the lathe, try to remember if this lathe has a chuck that grabs and pulls or not. I don't remember. If it does, then I can do a portion of it, then go pull and extend it a certain amount, re-grab, and then cut more features. Then I got to worry about losing my point, but my I don't know. But turning a long shaft like this is not really a good idea. It would be better if I had it centerless ground. So if I turn the shaft a little big and then had the fulcrums of the shafts of the rockers, the shaft, the fulcrum of the rocker is on the shaft. That section of the shaft, I had that centerless ground, so I know that it's perfectly round and concentric down the shaft. That would be a good idea. and by being ground, no machine marks and better better oiling and load capacity on it. Oh, there it is. It's 5:30. He's probably eating dinner with his family. He's got a big family. Shit. Well, just more and more snags and delays every time I go to work on something. The black car, I fix one thing, something else breaks. The RS, same deal. And now the Corvette, same deal. Man, that RS has a wider track in the front. Looks pretty cool though. Looks pretty mean. But when you got a 15 WRX subframe in there, pushing everything out, it'll do that. Well, shit. I did 0 successful things today. Well, not today, but this stream. 0 successful things this stream. At least my oil pan's on already. I did screw down my my lifter trays. Woo! Progress, baby. Fucking progress. God damn it. Got a bunch of head boxes over here with head bolts in here. I wonder if I got some studs or some. That's a Subaru one. Look at that. This one here. Oh, I don't remember what size the head bolts are on the LSA. Are they big like the LS9 or are they small like the LS3? I don't remember. Let's check it. This is LS9. No. I don't think so. No. Oh, wait. No. Okay. That's something I should have done. I should have had these drilled and tapped for LS9 sized head bolts. That would have been freaking cool. That'd have been neat. Did I show you guys my ABCS covers? Did I show you that? Talk about a hilarious part. Where are the red ones at? I can't figure out what ones. There they are. I'm gonna show you guys these. These are cool. They're cool and hilarious at the same time. They're hilarious because they're probably officially the first part I built that has almost no purpose. My big snags, I have no tools. You have a nice workspace. Yeah. Well, man, I've been doing it for a long time. I've been gathering tools and stuff for a long time, especially recently. Actually, I bought a lot of tools recently. I've grown to like and appreciate Wera tools. Wera. I don't even know where they're made. If they're made in Germany or what, but I'm really digging their stuff. It's really cool. This, yeah, Wera tools. Yep. This is the ABCS cam gear cover. So, hey, Ryan's coming back. Sweet. So these covers are for like the guys that have like the clear covers, or you just want something different. Hey, dude. Yeah, how you doing? I am looking at my Corvette engine, realizing that something doesn't fit, and so I'm calling you to ask you about your lathe. If I want to turn a shaft that's about 18 inches long, but it's only like 5/8 thick, I want to, yeah, diameter, yep. Does your lathe like machine some and then pull it out longer on its own, and then machine some more and pull it out longer on its own? Well, I don't have it. I need to make it out of stock, out of bar stock or tube something. Yeah. It looks like it's about 5/8. I haven't measured it. It's got two profiles on it, two diameters on it, and it goes up and down, up and down. So it's a rocker shaft, and the raised section is where the fulcrum of the rockers ride. So I'm thinking cut a little big and then centerless ground at the fulcrum so that it's perfectly smooth and concentric down the shaft. Yeah, so it's not a camshaft. It's just a. But yeah, I think it has to be pretty hard because the rocker rides on it, right? So the rocker is going to pivot on it. Yes. Yes, I have one that's made. The problem is that the bolt spacing is incorrect for the heads that I have. So I need to make another one that has different bolt spacing. No. So this is a aftermarket head that uses a better valve geometry, and when they did that, the tops of the valves moved over closer to each other and from factory, and so all this stuff is made to fit the factory heads, but the aftermarket head with the valve tips closer to each other is obviously the wrong offset now because they're closer, and it's like 60 thou. So yeah, the no, so there's two issues with that. One of them is that it goes onto a mounting plate, and thankfully I have the plate that's correct. But because of the shaft has got retaining clips in it on both sides of the rocker all the way down, so there's like 16 clips on each one, and it's got little thrust washers and all of that to hold the one each in its place. Yes, all day. Anytime after 9. But Brian might be here tomorrow around 10. Cool. Sweet. Hmm. No, I just want to let you know that you're going to be alone. That's all. Yes. Well, maybe tomorrow when you see it, you'll have a better grasp of what's going on. Cool. Yeah, that'd be great. Sounds good, man. Thank you. What's up? Nope. Nice. Yeah, we'll be here. You guys gonna get together? Yeah, that'd be awesome. We should get together. Get the ladies to yapping with each other. Get the hens clucking. Does your wife beat you, Ryan? She might start. She hears you talk like that, right? I say get the hens clucking is what I said. Yeah. Yeah. They have it all over their website. They don't have it. Hmm.
and then either you're gonna bend it, have to really take time to bend them straight.
Right, because they shift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the more you cut facets on something, it's just gonna bend in every which direction.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't see how there's not some manufacturer that's building this part talking about using those heads.
Yeah. I can't find one.
Again, I am the car retard, so it's by my own volition. I've chosen to put my head in the sand.
Well, I mean, cars are not good financial investments, so if you choose not to be involved in them, that just saves you money.
Well, I told you my high school / childhood experience is why I hate cars, right?
Why, you hate cars? No.
Okay, quick story. My sister and brother got 2 brand new Ford Escorts, and they got cars.
I mean, they're Ford Escorts.
So whatever. But at least they got running working cars.
Yeah.
I came around. My parents weren't doing as financially great, and we looked around at, this used car, that used car, whatever, at least in running condition. And I was given the shop pickup, the Datsun, whatever, with a 22R motor in it, that needed to be pounded out, straightened out, and make run.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was just forced to do all that work, which is no problem.
Mm-hmm.
And after pulling the motor apart 3 times and screwing it up twice, actually made a pretty nice pickup for myself.
Nice.
So 2 years into this whole thing, I noticed that I was losing water, and I knew that I needed to change the head gasket. So my brother I was informed by my brother, he was working at Larry's Market, and my dad was working in Port Angeles with his brothers. And I said, look, you take the truck, you need to make sure you take extra coolant because it's burning or stuck in water, and I need to get it fixed. So, take the door to Port Angeles.
It just emptied itself out. He never put anything in it.
And so he's like, oh, very next day, Seattle, because I was rowing at the time, at Greenland Crew, the fucking engine just froze up. Down I-90, head to Issaquah.
Mm.
Well, got towed to my dad's shop. I was going to either pull the motor, put a new motor in it. When I go down that weekend, my truck's not there. And go to my dad, well, where's my truck? Oh, I sold it to my neighbor.
Yeah.
It wasn't even his fucking truck to sell.
Yeah.
After that, I'm never going to do that. So that's why it's kind of like allude to cars, like they just kind of crush me.
Right. But it's not even the car's fault. It was all the fault of other people.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Because we're gonna like if I actually have to pick a car, I'm fine. Like I just dig into it. Like, oh, this is how you gotta get the part out. You just do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no joy in it. I'll just tell you, there's just no joy in it.
Sure.
Anyway, there's my torch.
Nice. Well, thank you for giving me insight into your life.
Don't let too many people know that story.
Yeah, man. Me too.
Sounds like a plan.
All right, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. Oh, okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. All right, bye. All right. It is dumping rain out there. Yeah. And I got to go out to the storage box to get pins from an engine. So I'm going to do that. It shouldn't take too long. The engine's right by the door. And hopefully the pins aren't really jammed in there. So you guys get to listen to me swear. And you've never heard that before. Guys, I'll show you there's the Weira tools. Those things are really nice. Those those Allen wrenches are ridiculous. They are crazy reinforced. They immediately flare up in size from the what do I want to use? I can use vice grips. I don't want vice grips though. I want something with a round jaw so I can grab the pin as evenly as possible. What diameter are we looking at? Like that. But I want to also minimize the chance of marring the deck up a bunch. So I don't want to flatten the pin by grabbing it, on two opposing sides aggressively without cupping the balls. Oh, whoops. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, so I want it to be smooth and round. This might work. This guy here, that's got a good. That'd be too big, too small. This one looks too big. Well, these might work. Take these three tools out there. And a light. I'm trying to put some heads on. I wish I had the camera. I could just take you out there. Have to go to the storage unit to get parts. Sweet. I'm starving. Get to this. I hate these locks. I thought they'd be cool. Open and close are backwards, what you think. I think I got sandbags here. I want to pull it up. All right. I made it. I've been talking to you guys the whole time. I don't know if you can hear me or not out there. I don't know. Let me know if you can hear me outside when I was talking. Okay. You know, I think I must have some sort of love affair with blinding myself with this light. Because I just keep fucking doing it. All right. That worked out really well. All right, I put heads on now. Couldn't hear anything? Okay. Well, I was talking to myself then out there in the storage unit. Trying to give you guys updates of what I was doing as I fought the vice grips and everything. All right, but I got four pins, and by doing it the way I did it, I roughed them up a little bit. So now I've got a little knurling on them, make them sit in the block a little better. I'm so excited! I'm putting a head on. It's a little nerve-wracking swinging a hard hammer next to an ender block when I could use a soft one. But I thought about that. If I use a soft one, it's going to sling little pieces of plastic and break off it and throw them into the motor and stuff. That's that one that came out really easy because that went in really easy. Sweet. All right. This is great news. Okay. Studs. I put gloves on for this. My wife said the roast is done, so there ain't much time. I don't have much time left until time to eat. I'm hungry. So I look forward to eating that. But oh, here's a trick for you. Let me show you something. Vaseline. Yeah, there's soft brass hammers. Yeah. I don't know where. I have one for my guns. A little bit of Vaseline just on your hand, just a teensy bit. Now this isn't some of mice and men keep my hands soft for my wife thing. I mean it has that benefit, but with these gloves, it really helps them get on and off easier. Helps them slide on easier. You think it'd make it harder, but nope. They go on a lot easier with this kind of glove. So here we are. Yes. Extra larges. They're still too small. So now I have the added benefit of one, a little bit of Vasolube on the fingers and the hands. Makes them softer. It also helps the other stuff not stick to them. And it helps the gloves on and off easy. And when you gotta wash your hands, if you have oil and residual stuff on here, it comes off in the Vaseline. If you have dirt, it comes off Vaseline and it washes up really easy. So those are all benefits. Put that down so you don't get glare from that big light. Okay. All right. Now I need bolts. Make sure these are the right depth. These all the same depth? Yes. So this is the newer style where they're all the same depth. Now, if you do the LS1 and LS6 stuff, they have 4 of them that are a different depth than the rest. So you gotta be careful. You go to put some in and be like, where'd it go? It's deeper than the rest. You lose yourself not actually lose it, but so I'm gonna go till it's bottomed. Feel it, see if it's actually bottomed or if it's just like dirt in the thread. Yeah, love. And then back it off a teeny bit. All right, babe. I always back it off a little bit. I don't hammer them at the bottom. A lot of people put them at the bottom. I don't do that because when I turn them with the nuts, anyways, the nut will put tension on it, and I want to feel where that's at when I'm putting the thing on. So dinner's ready. So I'm just gonna put 4 studs in here and just drop the head in place after I put the head gasket in. These are already lubricated. I'm not putting dry studs in. These have lube on them already. Now, in an LS, if you're using... Why does this one feel so not right? What the fuck? What is that? The threads are fucked up. What the hell? This is a brand new block. This has never had anything bolted to it, unless someone screwed it up doing... God damn it. That'd be my luck, right? Someone screwed it up honing or something, and... What the fuck is going on in there? That is fucked up. Somebody fucked up my block. Oh. Weird. I fucked up my block. That's the bolt that's holding it on the engine stand. That's so close right there. You can't go in very far. Holy shit. But that's tapped that deep. So they tapped it all the way. Wow, okay. So I got to pull that out. Oh, blind myself again. Boy, I'm really good at this. Listed on my resume. One of the most efficient things you do? I blind myself with a light. It's kind of my thing. Okay, that is crazy. So they threaded this hole into this one. They share the cavity. So they must use shorter studs than I put in here to hold it onto the lift, onto the stand. Wow. That's a bad call. That's crazy. And all the times I've done this, I've never run into that. Oh, I don't usually use that hole, though. I usually use this other hole up here. Okay. I don't see that bolt anymore. All right, let's see if this will thread in now. That bolt's not going to be in the way. Yeah, there it is. Look at that. Okay. That's something to keep in mind. I'm going to thread that bolt back in until it touches the stud. I want to see where that's at. Right there. It's really close. That's really close to where it was. It just was. That just blows me away. That blows me away. I never, in all this time, never noticed that. I haven't experienced that. And I put a lot of LSs together. That is really trippy. Okay, how's the bore? Bore is good. The gasket is centered around the bore. There's no overhang into the bore. It fits really nice. The water jacket is good. Coolant holes are balanced. Okay, that all looks really good. Double check I didn't drop anything. Surface dirty? Nope, still clean. Ah, get on there. There she goes. Nice. Ooh, so pretty. Wow, those studs look a little long. There's a lot of bolt coming out of that hole. Huh. That seems pretty long. Is it going any deeper? No, that's it. That's the end. Top one is slightly less. Yeah, that's slightly less. I don't think this has two size studs. Double check and see. I think so. These are all the same. I gotta get this radiator off the floor. This is the old radiator from my black car just chilling on the floor. That food smells so fucking delicious. I wish I could tell you. Wish I could share it with you. Smells really good. That is concerning how much that thread is sticking out because that thread doesn't stop, but it's close to stopping. That's almost the full length of the thread showing. But these are all the same length. And it's an LSA, and I'm pretty sure they're all the same length on the LSA. Unless the LSA has shorter bottom ones. That would seem weird to me. I'll have to look into that. The LSA has shorter lower head studs. Yeah, the threads just go below the head. They just go like 2-3 threads. Well, that's something I got to double check. I don't know the answer to that. I don't recall. All right, well, it's dinner time. Oh, nuts. Yeah, these are, I think these are nitrile. No, I don't remember now. I get them from Uline, actually. Tag. Yeah, nitrile. Yep. Industrial powder free 8 millimeter. 8 millimeter. 8 mil. Not 8 millimeter. Jesus Christ. 8 mil nitrile. Latex free, disposable, ambidextrous, non-sterile. Extra large orange gloves from Uline. So, anyways, my hands are really nice. All right, guys. Hey, Xario's here. What's up, dude? I'll see you later on if you're online. I am going to eat my dinner. And then I'm going to come back out here and put another head on. Well, finish putting this head on. And then Then I'm going to play some Path of Exile 2 is what I'm going to do. So I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out and watching me struggle through all my crap and listen to my stories and all that. I appreciate you. And hope you guys have a good rest of your weekend. Thank you very much. I will see you later.